Welcome back to Pod and Deliver. Tonight, Ruben, I thought we'd talk about a topic that my students and I were discussing in class not too long ago, actually. I do journals once a week, and one of the journals this last week was dealing with the pardon that President Biden had on his son, Hunter, basically pardoning him for 14 years. I think it's 14 years. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's 14 years from like 2004 to the present, which is, no, maybe it's 11 years. So either way, it's a long time. It's a long window of time where he's being pardoned. And so we had some of my students had really questioned why would it be 11 years? And we discussed that right now he's already been tried for a couple of things and he's been found guilty, but there's a number of things that they have on him regarding um, drugs and regarding even possibly sex with minors. That's an issue that's possibly could come up, and things that were on his laptop that haven't really been addressed yet. But now, since he's been pardoned, they won't be addressed. And I guess the question I had for my students, Ruben, was, hey, do you think this pardon is too big of a power for a president? Should they limit it? Because there has been talk recently that Congress should limit that power if they could create legislation, or maybe even it would have to be a part of an amendment to the Constitution to limit, or maybe even entirely get rid of the pardon power. And I personally think that the pardon should be left to the president. They usually do it at the end of the presidency, so because a lot of times it's very well, they let go a lot of their friends or family members. I know Clinton's done it. Every president pardons people. And even Trump, the first time he was president, pardoned people that he was related to. I know his father, or his son-in-law's father, right, was pardoned. And so that's Kirshner's dad, right? And so I personally think, like I said, that they should keep the pardon, but there's many, and I'd like to see your take on it, that think that this pardon should be limited, or and with me, my only issue with the Biden pardon was that not that he pardoned his son, which I think I could see him doing that, but that he denied, that he said he wasn't going to do it for months. He said he wasn't going to do it, and then he did it, and everyone was praising him when he kept saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do it. Oh, look at this is how government should, behave. This is how a president should handle this type of situation. He's not going to even pardon his own son." And then he pardons him. So, I mean, I think all along he was going to do it. It was very political, but I think,
So
I
your
don't
so your
blame him for doing it.
biggest so your biggest issue with
Mhm.
this whole thing is that a few months ago he said he wasn't, and now he's doing it. That's your biggest issue?
Well, besides the crimes, I mean, of course, I'm not happy about anybody getting away with. Well, I
No,
don't
but
like. Also, I'll take
I,
it
I'm
back.
just I'm just reacting to what you
No, no, no.
said.
You're right. The second part,
I
I
can't
would say
react
this.
to I can't react to what you're thinking.
The second part, it would be 11-year window. It seems. I think it should only be like a
So
year.
so so
Yeah.
I'm just a little surprised that your biggest issue is that he said a few months ago that he wasn't going to do it, and
Plus
then
the window. Plus the
and
11-year
on his
window.
way out, okay, and then plus the window. I'm really surprised that you're talking about the drugs thing and the sex thing. On a couple of points.
Okay.
First of all, I would fact check the thing about the sex. I have never heard that, and then I could be corrected that there's an accusation of underage girls. I'd be careful about that type of thing.
There's an
If
accusation. I'm not sure if it's happened.
but if
Yeah.
that's an accusation, okay. I definitely have heard the drugs, but I'm surprised that the front and center thing that you're not mentioning, because to me, I do not even care that he's had sex with prostitutes and he's had drugs. I care. It's not in the sense
Right.
of it's not a healthy thing. So I shouldn't say I don't care, but I'm saying, okay, he's pardoning his son for taking drugs. But my
Hmm.
friend, the big issue is that he's being accused of setting up shell companies for the buying of influence.
Yes, you're right.
To
That's
me,
another big one.
for me, bringing up the drugs thing is just a smokescreen.
Right.
This is a much bigger issue, and
Which has Biden also involved too, probably,
to
right?
me, it's the most critical issue. It's everything else is secondary. So if you were to ask me what the biggest issue is, that's really the only issue because Now what you have is people calling Biden the Biden crime family over this issue because he stood to gain millions of dollars over the appointment of Hunter Biden in these I think Ukrainian
Yeah, Ukrainian
companies.
shell company. Yeah.
And so that is a problem. That is
But don't you have a problem with the 14-year, I mean, not
corrupt,
14, 11-year
corruption. That
window?
is corruption to the core. And so for me, that being said, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, in the sense that you knew it was going to happen. I didn't believe him. I mean,
Yeah.
and then the problem, I don't make the, I have a problem with it like you do, but I could see me saying this. People will
Mhm.
respond with, "Wow, what about Trump's pardon of what was his name?
Kushner's father?
Yeah, Kushner's father, and then there was a guy named Paul something went to prison or
Oh,
pardon. I'm forgetting,
sounds familiar. Yeah.
but there's
But
been
every
some,
president does it. Yeah.
and you're right, and so I agree with leaving it there, leaving the pardon there, but man, the accusations of Hunter Biden and the corruption accusations are very serious.
Mm.
And the problem with it now, as he's leaving office, pardoning his son. Again, I'm making this argument not because we've addressed it. You wanted to talk about this, and it's fair, and let's talk about it.
Right.
The problem now is that as he's leaving office, you can't make the claim anymore that no one's above the law, like we've been hearing in the last 4 years, and Trump needs to go to jail. Man, Hunter didn't face the law, and this big charge of buying influence. And some people don't like our interactions with Ukraine and in that part of the world at all.
Right.
So then you have this going on. So to me, it smells. Now he's leaving with this. This might really hurt the Democratic Party in general as a whole. So this is not, no, I agree. This is not good.
And it's not good, but we both agree that the pardon should, that type of power should stay with the president. It's just that this particular pardon had a lot of problems.
There's a risk. There's a risk if you do things like this. So as you get up, as you walk out the door, you leave, you pardon all these people. There's a political risk that you're taking. So
And
that
there's talk that he's going to pardon some other people that maybe were involved with other issues, especially with the J6 insurrection and how they handled it and how they maybe uh, ignored certain evidence or buried it or killed it or whatever they did with it. And to make sure that these people are taken care of, let's just pardon them. I have a problem with that type of pardon where it's like, okay, we just want to cover our people, protect them so they won't get prosecuted. I believe if you haven't done anything wrong, you know what, you gotta face the fire if it's coming at you, right? And hire a good lawyer. And I think some of these people are definitely going to get pardoned though, but we'll see. Well, Ruben, thank you for you know, chatting with me on this. And the rest of our audience, thank you for joining us on Pod and Deliver. We hope you go ahead and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.